He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. The hiss. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Geo News and the enigmatically named Web Desk brings us the headline, "This one's wife hisses at employees amid anger issues." This one's wife's behaviour with staff members has been laid bare by a royal expert. The Duchess of Sussex, who now lives in the United States, was accused of ill-treating a journalist team member. The Daily Mail's Rebecca English claimed that the Duchess turned and hissed at one of her subordinates. She wrote, "I was there at the time and witnessed this one's wife turn and hiss at a member of her entourage, clearly incandescent with rage about something, and demand to leave." Her views are contrary to the ones laid out by former Archwell Chief of Staff Catherine St. Laurent. She said, "It was an incredible experience. They're incredibly talented and creative leaders. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to do that, to be able to be with them on their journey. The time that I spent with them was incredibly fulfilling." Please take the gun away from my head. She talked about the Archwell Foundation and stressed, "I think they, Harry and this one's wife, have the potential to be very influential leaders in the social impact space." There, I've said what you wanted me to do. Please remove the gun. Thus it's revealed that this one's wife apparently hissed at employees. Now, there are many people that regard her as something of a snake, so they wouldn't be too surprised to hear that. But what's going on? Well, remember, she is a narcissist, which means that she is hypersensitive to threats to control. This is because she was created from an environment where she did not have control. Her narcissism was created to ensure that as an adult, she always maintains that control. But it has a hair trigger. She is extremely sensitive to any potential threat. So, for example, if Harry fails to make her a cup of green tea, that is a threat to control. For you, it wouldn't bother you. If your partner didn't make you a drink, you wouldn't start shouting and screaming about it. You'd perhaps just get up and make yourself a drink, or you'd say, "Oh, would you mind making one for me as well, please?" You would not make a biggie about it all. But for the narcissist, the failure to make that drink essentially is saying this: "I don't respect you. You're not important. You're not the center of the universe." And because the narcissist believes that that's what they are, it demonstrates, because they haven't done that thing for the narcissist, that they're clearly not under control. And the narcissist must have that control. Every interaction, every potential interaction, the question of control always comes up. It's the first law of narcissism, which is all appliances, i.e. people, must be brought under control and kept under control at all times. Accordingly, in this instance, somebody was doing something which threatened this one's wife's need for control. A more evolved narcissist would respond in a way to get that control, perhaps with charm, perhaps with flattery, perhaps with a witty, pithy remark. But remember, this one's wife, as a mid-range narcissist, generates the facade of wanting to be seen as a kind and generous and empathic individual, whereas the reality is she's far from all of those things. And her facade management is stretched on a daily basis when she's interacting with third parties, because she experiences so many threats to control that the facade management is struggling to keep the facade in place when it's coming up as against those threats to control. Because remember, when there is a clash between facade management and control, control must win. In certain instances, the narcissist is able to maintain the facade and gain control, so there isn't a problem. But for someone such as this one's wife, who, first of all, does not have a particularly evolved facade, and secondly, faces repeated threats to her control as a consequence of her conduct, and that people have seen through her, this means that the facade is really overworked, and means that there will be repeated fractures of it. Accordingly, in this instance, the facade management was not up to the job of keeping her heated, ignited fury under wraps. Somebody has threatened her need for control. The narcissism's immediate response is to launch the heated, ignited fury, or in some instances, cold, ignited fury, which will then drive the narcissist to behave in a particular way to nullify that threat to control. So a simple example of that is where the narcissist punches somebody. They threaten their control, the narcissist responds with heated, ignited fury, they lash out physically, knocking someone to the floor, thus gaining control over them. For this one's wife, somebody threatened control, and it resulted in her hissing at them, because that is a manifestation of her heated, ignited fury, and the facade management was not able to stop it appearing. There'd be some that would suggest that this is just an article which is talking nonsense about her, but for a mid-range narcissist such as this one's wife, hissing at someone is actually absolutely commensurate with the type of narcissist that she is. She's not going to go berserk in public and start punching and kicking people. The facade management isn't going to let that happen. So it's able to prevent that from being a go-to manipulation on the part of this one's wife. But what it's not able to do is completely keep that heated, ignited fury under wraps. So if you could imagine that the facade management is a person, it's like holding back the heated, ignited fury. No, you can't hit this person. No, you can't punch them. You can't kick them. No, you can't shout bad words at them. But they've only got so much power to prevent those things happening, so that the heated, ignited fury basically goes, okay, facade management is stopping me from hitting them, stopping me from punching or kicking them, stopping me from issuing a verbal insult, but I'll be able to get this out instead. And thus, there's the hiss. It's quite a catty response. It's like a cat hissing at a competitor when there's a territorial fight taking place. And what you witness there is the manifestation of part of the heated, ignited fury that this one's wife facade management has not been able to keep under wraps. It's wholly believable that she would behave this way, because she has to have that control. That control is regularly threatened. She experiences both heated, ignited fury and cold, ignited fury. On this occasion, it's heated, ignited fury, which escapes almost like a pressure valve, hissing, and it shows the nastiness of the individual underneath, whereby she lashes out in this way. And it's done to cause the other person to react, so they back down and behave themselves, thus enforcing control over them and possibly providing fuel by way of their response to being hissed at. It demonstrates the inherent nastiness of this one's wife, but it is a manifestation of her heated, ignited fury. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.